why you are not broken, forgotten, or unlucky. I can remember in the worst of the worst, struggling and laying there and so my journey to health was it was truly like 20 years long, but the worst of the worst was like 10 years long, and wondering, where is God? Does he see me? Does he hear me? Did I do something so bad that I don't qualify for healing? I know his word says that I can heal. So why am I not healing? Do you feel like that? Do you struggle with those feelings? Well, in this video, I want to show you that you are made to heal. Just like the title of this channel, you are made to heal. And I want to prove it to you. All right, so we're going to do some reading in the Bible, and I have my notes here. Do you ever sit on the floor? I love sitting on the floor in front of the fireplace. If you're the same, put a fire emoji down below. I would love to know. So, did you know that your gut lining is replaced every 3 days? You get new blood every 90 to 120 days. A new liver every 3 years. Like if they had to take out a bunch of your liver, it would totally be replaced in 3 years. Essentially, you get a whole new body every 7 years. When I say that you are made to heal, you truly were made, designed by God to heal. That's why when we were little, we fell off our bike and scraped our knee, and it healed. If we broke our arm, it healed. Our bodies were truly designed to heal. And I know in my journey, I was told a lot, you're just getting old. You're 30 now. This is old. This is where you're headed. It's just downhill from here. That's not what God's word says. And I beg for you to not accept that as like your Bible, really. That you're just getting old. There's so many examples in the Bible of people who lived old age, and so I don't want to go on that. So that's a tangent that I could go on to for a whole nother video. So in Hosea 4:6, so Hosea 4:6, here in the New King James Version, it says, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge." My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. God is desperately crying out, hey, you're dying because you lack knowledge in an area. You're dying, and I want to help you. So, 1 Peter 2:24. Let's flip over to there. 1 Peter 2:24. Again, in the New King James Version. Who himself bore our sins in his own body on the tree, that we, having died to sins, might live for righteousness, by whose stripes you were healed. Already healed. Before you were even born, Christ died on the cross so that you could be healed, so that you could be set free from anything that's holding you back. That's what Christ died for. It's not just so that we could be saved and rescued from going to hell, but it's so that we could be set free from anything that's holding us back. Financial bondage, our health, or lack of health. So Christ already did that. God already made us. Actually, in Genesis 1, it says that God made us in his image. Let's see. Just one moment. Let's see. Okay, so verse 26, Genesis 1:26. Then God said, let us make man in our image, according to our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish and the... So he made us in his image. God is not a weak, sickly God. He is a strong, healthy God, right? I mean, he's the author of health. He designed your body. Like I said, he designed us to have a whole new body every 7 years. Your body is made to heal. You're not just getting old. You're not just getting old. So, one thing real quick that I have created to help you on this journey to walk through the healing process is my Made to Heal roadmap. And I want to grab that I want to send that to you. So comment MAP below and I will get that right to you. I want to help you. I have a 4-step process that I learned when I was working through this healing journey on my own, that if you apply these steps in the right orders, it will produce healing. And so we're going to get into that a little bit here. So comment MAP in the comments and I will send it to you. So 2 reasons we get sick. 2 reasons. Generally 2 reasons we get sick. You're either toxic, you're full of toxins, or you're lacking nutrition. So 2 reasons. And you know what? It's good news because both of those can be controlled by us. We can do something about both of those, right? You're either toxic, full of a toxin, or you're lacking nutrition. I know in my case, it was both. You see, my house was flooded when we built it. And we believed them. We thought that they fixed it. We thought it was all good. And what happens if you take your water and you pour it, it's going to spread out until it can go down, right? And so it probably went down all the walls and till it flowed all the way down to the basement. And then those wall cavities are a perfect location for mold to grow. So I was full of toxic mold in my body and I ate terribly. My staples were ramen noodles, SpaghettiOs, mac and cheese, all those fun fast foods. Oh, chicken noodle soup, Campbell's chicken noodle soup. Of course, you gotta have it from the can. Oh, Mrs. Grass's noodle soup. That was my favorite. So those staples lacked so much nutrition and I craved sugar all the time. Oreos, M&Ms, Pepsi. I always had access to those. I kept Oreos up high in the cabinet, so above the fridge, so that my kids couldn't get them, but I could. I was trying to be a good mom, right? Oreos as I'm going out the door for breakfast. Oreos as I go upstairs for bed. Oreos. I constantly was eating junk. Maybe you're not that bad. But if you take a look at it, really, could you be doing a little bit better on nutrition? Do you feel like you eat clean? So they say, so I'd mentioned that we get a new body every 7 years. Our gut lining replaces itself every 3 days. But the thing is it's rebuilding based off from what we're doing. It's rebuilding based off from if we're giving it health. If we're giving it health, it's going to be rebuilding based on good stuff, right? But if we're lacking in nutrients, lacking in health, it's going to rebuild based off from that. So if you're sickly and you're not giving it the nutrients it needs, it's gonna continue to be sick. And it's gonna get worse and worse and worse. And that's why we tend to get worse and worse and worse, because we don't know how to pull out of it, and we don't know how to give our bodies what it actually needs to change the trajectory of where we're going. But it's all in our hands. So they say 85% of disease is lifestyle based. So, and I think that number is very generous. 85% of disease is lifestyle based. So what that looks like: sedentary. Most of us are sitting in front of a computer all day. We're not moving. And then we come home and watch TV. We're not moving. We get low to no nutritional value in our diet. So we're doing fast food. We're doing quick snacks, like I was with the Oreos, or my husband was with the Doritos, and you gotta have a quick pick-me-up of a Pepsi, or you gotta go get your Starbucks loaded with sugar. Those low to no nutritional value items are dragging us down. Because every moment of everything that we take in, that's what our body's rebuilding off from. So we got to set it up for success. Homes that breed mold. Our homes are built in such a way that they have a tendency to breed mold. So let's see. Clothes are made from plastic. Most of our clothes are polyester now. They're made from plastic. That plastic is causing us to be high in chemicals like xenoestrogens. Those are chemicals that our body thinks is estrogen, so we stop making the estrogen. Or it gives our men man boobs. Causes us all to be more emotional, a little bit more feminine characteristics than what we tend to want. And then just in our daily skincare, there's over 100 toxic chemicals in that. And most of them haven't even been tested to see how toxic they are. So 85% of our disease is lifestyle, but it's totally in our power to change it. Now for me, I thought it was a curse, but I became allergic to most of that stuff. So I was forced, seriously allergic, major rashes, swelling, causing irritability, all that stuff. I became allergic, and I thought that was a curse, but honestly it was a blessing, because it caused me to quickly stop all my favorite products, all my favorite lifestyle things. I don't wish that on anyone, so I'm going to help you walk through how to fix it, how to stop the trajectory of going backwards and moving forwards, aging younger instead. So again, all of this is fixable. One of the easiest ways to start training your body, because remember, God's word says that we're perishing for lack of knowledge. So we have to get some knowledge if we want to fix this, right? So one of the easiest ways, fastest ways, I love that we have technology, is download the apps Yuka, Think Dirty, and Bobby Approved. And this is what they look like: the Yuka, the Think Dirty, and Bobby Approved. Those apps make it so fun and so easy to learn. If Bobby Approved is focused on food, so what you're eating, is it benefiting your body? If so, know why. If not, why? It tells you all that. It's amazing. Think Dirty and Yucca, they both have a database that is loaded with different products, but they both rate the products and tell you, do they have chemicals that are carcinogenic, or are they just irritating, and they rate them how bad they are. My desired rating for Think Dirty, I don't remember the scale for Yucca, but Think Dirty, I like to get it for sure in the green. I don't want anything in the yellow or red. I want it for sure in the green, and preferably in the 0 range. I want it so low in toxins that it's in the 0. For me, my body is extremely sensitive. Like I said, I became so allergic to so much. I completely had to revamp my diet, my lifestyle, my makeup. I'm not able to wear any makeup. And so my goal is to have a really glowing skin to help offset the lack of makeup. So those 3 apps, I encourage you to download it. Make it fun. Give your kids those apps and run around doing a scavenger hunt. See if you can find any Bobby approved products, any products in the green with the Think Dirty app, the Yucca app, and then take it to the grocery store. With my kids, if I could, like they struggled switching products. They wanted to keep doing using what they had. And so if I could make it a fun scavenger hunt, if I could take them shopping with me and let them help pick out products, it made it so much easier for them and more enjoyable, and it got them involved. And they'd have my phone and they'd scan things, and I'd say, all right, pick out a shampoo that you think smells good, but it is in the green on the Think Dirty app, or whatever, tell them, give them directions, and then they get to kind of go on the scavenger hunt to pick it out. It gets them involved and makes it so much more fun for them. And so again, here are the apps. Be sure to download those. Those are going to be a game changer for your progress, because if you can eliminate the toxins, you can begin to heal. So again, along with these apps, I also have the Made to Heal roadmap. It introduces you to my 4-step process that I used for fixing my body. Comment map, and I'll get the map right over to you, okay? I don't want you to have to do this alone. You don't have to do this alone. So I'm with you in gaining knowledge. I'm with you and cheering for you and rooting for you. I want more people to experience the health and healing and wholeness that I did. We're not meant to stay sick. How can we be the light of Christ if we're sick and in pain and inflamed and all of that? Like, when we're in those situations, we tend to think more about ourselves than everyone else around us. So I encourage you, join me in this journey, becoming your best self. You were made in the image of God. You were purposely made by God, designed by Him. You were given His mind. You have the mind of Christ. You have the thinking power, even if you don't feel it right now. You were made to heal. So next, I'm going to give you a few ideas how to heal, how to fix your body, how to rebuild your cells with health. Because remember, we're rebuilding based off from our health is going to happen based on what we're giving it. So if we get a new gut lining every 3 days, but all we're doing is eating M&Ms and Pepsi, what do you think that gut lining is going to be like? Is it going to be a healthy one, or is it going to be a sickly one? More likely it's going to deteriorate in its health. So it's going to become weaker and weaker and weaker. So we want to build a stronger and stronger gut lining. Our liver, we want that when it's rebuilt every 3 years, we want that to be built based off from health, right? So in this video, in this section of the video, in this portion of the video, we're going to talk about how to gently repair your body that's full of chronic symptoms. So, again, your body is stuck because you're either toxic or you're lacking nutrition. One of the two are where it's at. You're toxic or you're full of nutrition. That's why our bodies get sick. It's not that you're unlucky. It's not that God doesn't hear you. It's toxic or lacking nutrition. And so I can remember on my journey, I was crying out to God, Lord, why am I so sick? Why am I not healing? What is wrong with me? Do you not hear me? Do I not qualify for healing? Your word says that by his stripes we are healed. It's already done according to your word, but I'm getting worse and worse and worse. And at this point, I was bedbound. I was laying there in excruciating pain. Everything hurt. It hurt to move my toes. Everything hurt so bad. If I put my shoes on, it sent waves of nerve pain all the way up my body. And then my body just felt like it wanted to collapse. So in that time frame, I learned first off to begin praying for wisdom. I saw in Solomon, not in Solomon, but Solomon prayed for wisdom. And God honored that. He blessed that. And he gave Solomon the wisdom he needed to run the kingdom, even though he felt really young. And so I began to pray for wisdom and that the Lord show me my next steps. And so he led me to Genesis 1:29. And I want to read it to you, okay? So Genesis 1:29 says, and God said, see, I have given you every herb that yields seed, which is on the face of all the earth, and every tree whose fruit yields seed. To you it shall be for food. That is the very first instructions God gave us for what to eat. The very first instructions of what to eat. Did you know the Bible is our owner's manual, so to speak, for our body? So our very first instructions right after he created us, he told us to eat fruits, veggies, herbs, grains, all of that. He told us to eat that. Wow. That was whoa for me. It was, so along with my learning, I found that grains tend to be moldy, and since I was already toxic with mold, I had to eliminate all grains. So I was eating fruits and veggies and herbs, as long as they were mold-free. Fruits, veggies, and herbs. So, along with that learning, I started reading, noticing different doctors who also teach that our bodies can heal, saying that you need loads of fruits and veggies. So I'm going to share with you some of the doctors that I followed because I found these doctors who taught that your body can heal and started following what they were saying. And so here's in summary some of the things they said. But first, if you haven't gotten my Made to Heal roadmap, I want to get that in your hands. I want to show you the process that worked for me to make it simpler. It took me years to heal, and you don't have to stay sick that long. You can use the 4 steps that I used to fix my body and grab that, comment map in the comments, and I'll send it right to you. Those 4 steps, they're simple steps, but we're not taught them. And so I break it down really simply in this. And so yeah, comment map. I want you to experience healing. So the experts that I found. So Dr. Don Colbert, he said 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. That came from Let Food Be Your Medicine. I'm sure he says it on his social media also. So that's for any person desiring to be healthier. That's not designed, that was not set up for people who are battling disease. That's just anyone desiring to be healthier. 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. Excuse me. Chris Wark from Chris Beat Cancer. In Square One, I got his Square One course. He said, so if you don't know Chris Wark, he had stage 3 or stage 4 colon cancer. And they say that that's one of those cancers you generally don't heal from, you don't recover from. He had surgery, but no chemo, no radiation, I believe. So follow him online. He's very, very helpful. But he says 10 to 15 servings of fruits and vegetables a day for anyone desiring to cure cancer. To anyone who wants to fix their cancer, 10 to 15 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. So significantly more from Dr. Don Colbert's version, but you're a lot sicker, right? Cancer is a lot worse than just someone wanting to be healthier. Dr. Terry Walls, in the Walls protocol, she says for anyone desiring to fix multiple sclerosis, they need 9 cups of vegetables a day. I believe, if I remember correctly, she is very much in the camp of staying away from fruits. And her priority is vegetables in a day. 9 cups of vegetables for fixing multiple sclerosis. Dr. Gerson, he focused on fixing cancer, diabetes, all those really hard to fix diseases. He saw miracles happen with 20 pounds of fruits and vegetables a day. 20 pounds of fruits and vegetables a day. And then Dr. Tom O'Brien in the autoimmune fix. So he focuses on fixing any autoimmune disease. 1 pound of fruits and veggies a day. Okay, so now my diagnosis is I was at first diagnosed with fibromyalgia. Then I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. I was on the lookout for lupus and multiple sclerosis. And then they found toxic mold illness. Then it was labeled as CIRS, chronic inflammatory response syndrome. And then they found Lyme. And then they found that my hormones had tanked. And then eventually smaller diagnoses were piled on it. And like high cholesterol, and my blood sugar would spike up and down like crazy. I was basically pre-diabetic. And so all these things, all these labels, until eventually it led to cancer. So when I got diagnosed with cancer, I got super, super serious. And so first, with the autoimmune diseases, I reversed those fairly quickly with eating mainly fruits and veggies. Actually, for a while, I totally cut out fruit because I wanted to avoid the sugar. I needed to reset my body. And so I cut out all the fruit, very limited meat, and only ate veggies and nuts and seeds for a season. And my rheumatoid arthritis, the autoimmune diseases, all of those numbers, statistically, according to my blood work, the autoimmune disease was fixed. It was gone. There was no sign of it anymore in my blood work. Very quickly, probably within 6 months of changing my diet to that. But then things kept piling up still. It wasn't fixing until I was diagnosed with cancer. And at that point, I got serious. And I seriously was doing the 20 pounds of fruits and vegetables a day, according to Dr. Gerson. And the cancer has been reversed. It took me a year, and it was reversed. According to all my labs, all of the paperwork, the testing, I have continued to go back for testing every year, and it still has stayed in remission or no signs of cancer. So the 20 pounds of fruits and vegetables, if you want to get serious, I recommend just start there so you don't pile on any more diagnoses, because your body is struggling because it needs more nutrition, right? You got to get the nutrition in. While you're pulling out the toxins, I just discussed in the last section of the video about downloading the apps for getting rid of the toxins. That'll shift things in the right direction, but you also have to start adding the nutrients in your body. And 20 pounds of fruits and vegetables a day, ideally organic, is going to help you. So, that's a lot though, isn't it? How do you do it? I incorporated juicing, fresh juicing, smoothies with fruits and veggies in them, salads, and then whole food products like Purium. Purium is an awesome product base, all completely whole foods, and they focus on making sure it's low toxin, that it doesn't have the molds in it, it's clean, it's pure. So I want to show you some pictures. You'll see this on my social media. You see there's carrots, there's broccoli, there's purple cabbage. I know there's cherries and mangoes and dates for sweetening it. And I believe I probably have Purium superfoods in there just for added greens and some added protein. So this blender is my Vitamix, and it will completely blend it smooth, like it. So you go to a tropical smoothie and it's completely smooth. That's what this blender does. Most blenders won't do that. You need a high-powered blender. You can see which one I use in my Linktree account on my bio. This one is a picture of, this is the super meal from Purium that I use oftentimes in my smoothies, or I have cocoa yogurt that I'll sometimes make a yogurt bowl with it. That's easy way, fun way to get greens in your diet. Now, the downside of this is it is green. And so if you don't like your food looking green, then you might want to put in some blueberries or cherries, something in there so it doesn't look green. And there's me juicing. So that is how I got 20 pounds of fruits and veggies in my diet. And I'll tell you, so that was a few years ago. And recently I started thinking about I feel a little bit tired, a little sluggish, as probably most people do because it's middle of winter in Michigan. Sorry. But, so I've realized, you know what? I've really backed away from my fruits and veggies. So I started implementing to each morning, I'm starting my day off with a smoothie with fruits and veggies, or I'll juice. And then later I'll have a yogurt bowl with more fruits and veggies. In that I'll use my Purium Super Meal, or I'll do their dark berry. I love their dark berry version. It's got all the stuff that you need for building collagen. And so think about it. It's fruit and veggie based. It's not animal based. And think about it. If you wanted more hair, you wouldn't eat hair, right? If you wanted stronger bones, you're not going to eat bones. Instead, you need the nutrients to rebuild strong hair, strong bones, right? So that's why I really love the super meal every time. Not super meal. I love the super meal too, but I'm talking about the dark berry, because that has all the nutrient base necessary for rebuilding strong hair, strong nails, all the things that we like. Good, strong ligaments, joints. So now, I just talked to you about nutrition, but the other side of it is detoxification, right? So a super, super easy way for getting good detoxification is, bear with me, but rebounding. I don't know if that's going to be high enough. So back here, you see the rebounder that I started with. This is really small. It's broken right here. It's not very flexible. This is where I started. It was hand-me-down. It was low cost because it was free. But I believe it was a low-cost rebounder, really. I love using it. I have it here in front of my desk, so when I'm on my computer, I'm on this, and so I can bounce, because every bounce we do helps set ourselves up for success. So now I've upgraded to the Beacon, and I'm gonna push this back a little. Okay, so the Beacon is nice. It was a cheap, inexpensive start. But to be honest with you, I wish I would have started with the cellular size. My dad has the cellular sizer, and it's much nicer, much better, and much better for getting to each cell in the body to reset your cells to help them detoxify. But just a little, just even on this Beacon, a cheap way to get started. Just doing this. When I was chronically ill, I couldn't do a lot of exercise because it made me more sick. But just doing this for 30 seconds, a minute, this is helping to detoxify your cells. This is helping get rid of inflammation. So what happens when we get sick is our cells get hard. I'm going to sit on the rebounder. So our cells, oh, you can see Rosie in the background. Our cells get hard, and so the nutrition can't get in and the toxins can't get out. So we've got to start to soften the cells. We got to make it more, just loosen it up. So it starts by getting rid of the bad foods, changing our diet, using the Think Dirty app, the Yuka app, and the Bobby Approved app, and start adding in those fruits and vegetables. Those fruits and vegetables, if they're juiced, it's going to help your body detoxify. It's essentially like an IV, a nutrition IV, loaded with, it takes 5 minutes to get into your cells. And so with that, sometimes people have a detox headache because it's so powerful, so potent. The smoothies break down the vegetables and fruits small enough so that your body can digest them. It doesn't have to do all the hard work of breaking them down. Another option would be steaming those fruits and veggies. If your body struggles with fruits and veggies, maybe you get gassy or upset stomach from them, try steaming first. And next, move to the smoothies. Or you could also do juicing first, like that's super gentle on the stomach. But what happens is we lose the digestive enzymes to be able to digest the vegetables. And that's where we get gassy. So just keep going a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. I make it easy to feed. Steam, smoothies, juicing. Those are easy ways to receive the vegetables, receive the nutrition. That's how I started. And then the rebounding, even if you have to sit, you're rebuilding all of your cells. You're going to build muscle even doing this because all your cells are able to get that nutrition. Easiest exercise. I wish I would have known about it sooner because honestly, I just found out about the rebounder about 6 months ago, and the change in my body has been tremendous. I've built so much more muscle than even with weightlifting. So the rebounder is definitely, I'm doing less saunas. I love my infrared sauna, but the rebounder is so much less expensive and so easy to do. A minute a day, twice a day, 3 times a day. Work up to what your body can handle, and you'll receive more benefits. So, and then there, you'll see where I was sitting. I have my PEMF and red light mat. Probably at the beginning of the video when it was darker in this room, you could see the red lights. Night it's really hard to see the red lights, but also very beneficial. But biggest point in this video is you were made by God to heal. You are able to heal. You don't have to stay sick. It really is your choice. Don't believe what you've been told. Your diagnosis does not have to be your forever. It does not have to be the rest of your life. God gave us tools that we can use to help. So if you want help along the way, and you want to learn the roadmap of what I use to help fix my body, comment, map, and I'll show you those 4 steps. I'll give you a quick summary, make it simple. You can ask me questions back if you want. Email me. I want to help you. I want to lock arms with you and help you be successful in your healing journey. You were made by God to heal. Be blessed.